online.
Yeah. We are live, baby.
You have such a good voice.
Thank you. I'm with my girl Sarah G. 96.3. We are here. What's up, everybody? Tune in.
Put the mic to the right of your face, and then do you mind moving your purse towards that computer? Yes. Like that. And then down. Well, wherever you normally put it, just make sure it's to the right. A little bit more to the right. There we go. And then just, it should be able to pick up anything you got.
Okay.
So now I got your face.
Hey.
It's recording. This is recording. This is going. Okay, friends, log in.
What's up, Facebook? I don't ever go live, but I had to this time.
Hey, okay, make sure it's saved and everything.
Yes, definitely.
It's weird, but it wasn't. Say something to your mic.
What up, what up? Hello, hello.
Hey, it's Sarah G. Okay, cool. Have you been interviewed before?
I mean, besides jobs.
Yeah.
No, not radio related, no. So
Radio.
I'm always so used to being on your side,
Yeah.
interviewing people. So yeah, this is like really different for me.
It is.
It's like you're on the spotlight now. So it's good though.
Yeah, and it'll give you a feel of like how others may feel, and like, oh, okay, so maybe I could direct this question differently
Exactly.
sometimes.
Exactly.
Cool. All right, welcome, Shakira. Excuse me, let me start it over.
Hey, I'm used to it. You pronounce my name all my life, so I'm used to it.
Hey, it's Sarah G from We 96.3, and I'm here with former station intern Shakira Burton.
Hello, hello. I'm glad to be here.
Yes,
I'm
welcome
glad
back.
to be back.
Well, actually, I kind of want to go over your internship. When did you start?
So I started in the summer.
Right.
It was in like the beginning of June. It was like the last credits that I needed to finish out my degree at PSU. So shout out to Vikings. I'm officially done. It feels good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's tough.
It is. It's a journey, I'll say the least.
Okay, well, speaking on that, give me 3 words that describe your college experience.
Ooh, okay. So 3 words that describe my college experience. I would have to say patience. Definitely patience. Team no sleep, because and you know how it is, like when you're in college, you get no sleep, kind of like just you're on the grind. So no sleep. And then I would say lit, because college is like, everybody thinks that college is like, oh, you're in the books and it's boring, but no, there's some good things that happens in college. You'll have fun. So that's why I would say lit. Definitely it was lit. It didn't get lit till PSU though, I would say.
Where were you before?
PCC,
Same.
because I was doing dental assisting,
Okay.
and that's what I do now currently. But so now I went to PSU, majored in communications, got my degree in communications, so I'm here right now.
What was lit about PSU? Give me one experience that you were just like, this is it.
First of all, just not just young people are there, just like it's a variety of different ages there. Like you have parents there with kids, so just like the dynamic of that and meeting new people, and also having my own podcast on there was really dope. So yeah, definitely I would say that too.
So is that where you got into radio? At PSU?
Yeah, I would say that is when I officially started college radio. Even though I've always loved music all my life, but PSU is where I started like college radio. So yes.
So what inspired the whole radio thing? I know you said you love music.
Yes.
But to take it to the radio level, what was that?
Oh man, so it goes back to like my childhood. I used to have like those little cassettes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like little cassette players that we used to play. Like, so I would honestly, like, I had a big boom box back in the day. Like I was like 11, 12 years old. I would record. I grew up on Gemini 5.5, so I would listen to late night dedications, and I like to hear people, you know, shout out their dedications to their lover and all that. But I would record like my favorite songs. I'll hit record. I have my little cassette, and like anytime I hear like my favorite song, I'll hit record, so that way I can go back and just listen to all my songs. So I would just I record over. You know, I just get an empty cassette player and just record. And so I'm like, I just grew up loving the culture of hip hop and R&B Word Up magazine, like all that. Like I just grew up posters on my wall, so that's like entertainment. I just like I know it's for me because I was like really into that growing up.
So you said you grew up listening to Jammin'. Do you remember any of the radio personalities that you used to love?
I do. So R-Dub at
Okay.
night, you know what R-Dub is, right? He had
Yes.
that smooth voice, that deep voice at night. He would the slow jam dedications for y'all, you know, the youngins out there. In my generation, I grew up listening to him at night. So he had that deep. He was a white dude, but he had that deep baritone voice. And he would want you, you know, it was just him, and then the Playhouse was also in the morning.
You remember the
I do.
Playhouse? I love the Playhouse too.
Yes, every morning going to middle school, listen to them act a fool, pranking people. So I remember that. Yeah, Trey Renee. Yeah, definitely.
And she's still doing her thing
She's
too.
still doing her thing over there too. Yes. So, yep. And I just always love music. Like music is such a huge part of my life. I grew up in the church, sung choir, and so it just grew up with me. And I don't know what I would do without music. Like honestly. So.
Yeah, it's probably very therapeutic for a lot of people.
Very.
Yep. So is radio your career goal, or what are your career goals?
So honestly, I love radio and I love sports. A lot of people know that I'm into basketball. So my career goal is like to be one of the first black women coming from Portland on ESPN. That's like my career goal. I would love to be on SportsCenter, ESPN. I love the NBA specifically. I love football, but NBA is like my heart. So I love sports. I love basketball. So my goal is to like be on ESPN one day. So
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. And
I'm
of course on
rooting for you.
radio, like that'd be the best of both worlds. If those two can align somehow, that would be amazing.
You could do some sports radio.
Yeah, that
Okay.
too. I would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you. Imagine that it's 20 years from now. What would a typical day look like for you?
Well, hopefully I'll be married by then.
Okay. You got marriage goals?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. And then kids, of course. You know, I don't have kids, so I definitely want a family. So hopefully by then that will be established, and of course my career. But number one right now is definitely career. Like I want to get that established first, get that, and then think about that later. But 20 years from now, I'm on cruises. I'm with my family, my husband.
Yes.
We're taking flights and on my job traveling. So that's honestly, I can see myself. A typical day would be like me getting up, going overseas or something, and my job, whatever job I'm in that time, and traveling. Really, that's a big goal of mine, is to travel. So hope to travel more. So yeah.
Okay, that's some nice 20-year goals. What do you observe as some of your struggles?
I would say, like, sometimes I can feel like I let my emotions can get the best of me sometimes. I mean, I'm a Cancer. So
I'm not familiar with the Cancer star sign.
man.
So what's that like? Y'all are emotional?
You are emotional.
Okay.
Yes. But that's in a good way, though. Like, we care really deeply about people. Like, we have a strong heart, a big heart.
You're empaths.
Yes. So I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I can let that get the best of me sometimes, and can be a distraction. So I would say that's kind of like a struggle of mine, like just trying to stay on track. Don't let the emotional side with like family issues or relationships, friendships, just keep the eye on the prize. But that, I would say, I wouldn't even call it a struggle, honestly. It just, everybody does. It's called being human, really.
Absolutely.
It's a human being. We all go through it. So I wouldn't even call it a struggle. It's just really just being human. So.
Okay. What are some of your strongest traits, do you think?
Definitely being ambitious. I would say I'm very ambitious. It's what keeps me going every day. It's what drives me, because I know eventually I'll get to where I want to be, even though there's days like, man, when is it going to come? But ambition honestly is my drive. So I would say being ambitious has got me a lot of places. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other hobbies or interests do you have?
Well, besides watching sports, and I love hanging with my family, spending time with them. I'm a big family person.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest out of 2 older siblings, so I'm the baby. But I just love spending time with my family. Shopping when I have the money. I'm balling on a budget over here right now.
Right, isn't everybody? Seriously.
Yes. Movies, I love Netflix. I'm really into Insecure. I don't know if you know about that.
I'm aware of it.
Yes.
Okay.
It just ended the season finale. It's amazing for all those out there that know Insecure is crazy. But Power. I just love watching like good shows, good series on Netflix and TV shows and chilling at home, and yeah, so
I like all these new shows that have popped up just in recent years with like damn near all black cast with, you know, power black leads.
Yeah.
That's like not something I had UPN with Moesha and the Parkers, but it wasn't as big of a production or as taken seriously as what we see with Power, Insecure, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, those 90s shows, they were like very, they stood out a lot. And I feel like we should have more of that. I feel like we lack that now. Because, you know, we got Love and Hip Hop and stuff that's not so significant, you know, like it's just whatever you know. But those 90s shows were definitely impactful because it's black culture expressed like it was really relatable to us, you know? So I feel like we should definitely have more shows like that. I feel like we're doing okay, but we can, I don't know, I guess we should get more. But yeah,
absolutely. I just like black people in positions of power. That's my thing.
Yeah, definitely. I love seeing people of color make it in big industries, especially like in sports. That's another reason why I really wanted to pursue in sports, because we see a lot of women in sports, but women of color, you know, I feel like I love to see that. And there's like, we need more of that, you know. And so coming from Portland, you know, a black woman from Portland, you don't really see that going on. So I would love to change that if I can.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you will. Absolutely. What kind of community involvement do you have going on?
Well, now I'm on the street team. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm now with the street team with Alpha Media. So it's going on pretty good. I'm excited about that. And also just like my podcast with my college radio I got going on. I brought in a lot of talent artists on my show. A lot of dope Portland artists that even you met before.
Right.
So it's been great, and I'm looking forward to bringing on more people, because on my podcast I focus on shining the light on local Portland artists, because in a predominantly white city, it's hard for like, you know, hip-hop culture to like really rise out here. So I like to shine light on that.
Okay.
Because I know it could be a little struggle, you know, so I like to, you know, any talent, poets, not just singers and rappers, any talent really, and music, showcase talent. So that's what my podcast is all about. If you guys are not, you know, following me yet, I'll get into that more. But I've been doing the college radio thing for PSC for 3 years now, and I love it. It's amazing. It's like my baby, and I really care a lot about it. So yeah, I have a lot of fun on it.
Yeah, I definitely consider bringing in local talent onto your show and giving them a platform.
Exactly.
I definitely consider that community involvement.
Exactly.
Because you're giving these people, you know, a mic and limelight that they otherwise would not have anywhere else.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of stations out here don't really shine a light on the local artists. So I'm like, hey, I have an opportunity to do that in a college platform, you know? A lot of relatable audience that can be like, yo, that's
very relatable.
Yeah, I see him, they're really relatable. And I talk sports, you know, a girl that talks sports and you know, entertainment, news. And so I feel like I can attract a lot of people around my age group, and for them to see like Portland really is dope out here. Like, we really got talent out here. So,
we do though, yeah.
And that's my main goal. Like, I want people to really know that, you know? So
absolutely, and I think you're doing a good job of it. We're gonna kind of switch gears into something a little bit more, not necessarily serious, but more focused, I guess you could say.
Okay.
What has been your observation or experience on the tension between Portland police and people of color?
My observation, going back into like, we live in a predominantly white city, Oregon. So, and then being people of color, being black here, is a smaller community. And so, like, we'll see people that we know personally, or we might have, like, know about them, get killed from police brutality, and it hurts us. That's one thing I've noticed, that it hurts our community really bad. Like, I see a lot of people just so down, so emotional about it, and it really hurts us to the core. That's one thing I noticed about our community, is, like, it really hurts us when that stuff happens. Another thing, though, like, we are protesting out there, but it's not a lot of action going towards it, I feel like. Like, yes, we're out there, we're protesting and all that, but I don't know, I just feel like there's just not much going on action-wise. It's a lot of, like, saying, like, you know, let's do it, but not too much is going on, really.
Sometimes I do feel like people get fired up because they have a lot of emotions. They see something that is wrong going on, and so they, come up and they say a lot of things or protest, but we don't necessarily have a plan of action. And
right, exactly. It's
not a bad thing, but if you want to further that and create action, it takes some planning and coordinating and consistency. So it's a good thing we're seeing people react, but also the follow through. It's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, especially living here, like I said, in Oregon, it is tough out here. So that's like the observations I've noticed. And I know at times, like when we come into interaction with police, we're often scared, right? We're nervous, we're scared, and so we can let our emotions get the best of us, and like we might, especially if you're under the influence at the time or something like that, it can go all downhill. So it can get a little crazy, but like I said, I feel like we just really need to put, what we say into action more, I guess.
And reach out to people in the community who are already trying to establish something.
And there definitely are people. I'm not saying there's definitely are communities out here doing that, for sure.
Yeah, PDX Equity in Action is one movement. They made those billboards. I don't know if you've seen those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had her in here the other day. She has those billboards that you've seen them around PSU and stuff like that, right?
Those ones right there?
Yeah, so they have those billboards all around town.
Oh, yes. I've seen them in people's yards, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said who made them?
Well, her name is Britton Washington. She is the lead, or she's part of PDX Equity in Action, and she raised that money to get those billboards up to start the conversation and get stuff going. So that's just an example of one of the people that I know that's organizing things. So I'll have to connect you to her. So, do you think that the way police interact with the public should change? Why or why not?
Should change. I mean, so we all know that there's good cops and bad cops, right? So, and that's everywhere, right? Not just in Portland. So, I mean, we just, honestly, the best advice I can give is just to follow directions, even though it could be hard, but you have to follow those directions, those precautions, because otherwise stuff happens. And we've seen people in the media, right, that follow directions, but look what happened, though,
right?
So, it's just up to us to, like, really keep in mind that, things could turn left in situations. So you just have to be calm and really just follow directions, honestly, to avoid those situations from happening. So I would say that.
So you feel if people of color or just people in general were to follow directions that they would not face any type of...
I wouldn't say not, because we've seen proof of what happened when we do. So, I mean, it's tough, right? It's just really hard to think of. So you just gotta, like, be mindful about it and just look around, just look at the world, look what happens, So you just gotta be mindful about it. And also, like, for cops and police, I feel like judgment is, of course, and stereotypes is why this happens, right? Stereotyping and judgment. So once that wall comes down of judging people, for them, like, I feel like a lot of things can change. Because people have judgments of people every day.
Right.
And it's hard. It is hard for us not to judge people. And, like, I'm a communication major. We talk about this plenty of times in classes. Like, once we break that barrier of having, that judgmental behavior, once that goes down, then it can make a difference. I believe it can. But people are always going to judge people wherever you go. So...
Right, that's how the mind kind of processes information.
Exactly.
And sometimes we just categorize people and things to understand them better.
Honestly, I feel like that's the root of why this is all happening with police and stuff, because it's like a judgmental thing, It's what they are grown or trained or whatever it is from what we see on TV. Blame it on media, I guess, or movies, TV shows, whatever you want to. But it's true, though. People are fast to judge people. So...
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could change the way police interact with the public, especially for people of color, what would you change?
I guess that was my.
Yeah,
that was my answer right there. Honestly, not just for policemen, for everybody, of all races, you can't be just judgmental of everybody. We're all human at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely.
So you just got to have an open mind. But there are some cowards out there, right? There's going to be cowards. There's going to be racism going on. But honestly, if we can break that barrier of judgmental, like judging people, then less things can happen. So that's what I think.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your input. But now I want to get back to you and being a media personality.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you could give, well, since you've been doing this for 3 years already at KPSU, as a media personality, I don't like to say just radio because it's more than that, right?
It is.
If you could give 3 pieces of advice to an aspiring media personality, what would you tell them?
1, don't give up. Because I know it sounds cliche. We always hear celebrities on awards, don't give up. But it's true. It might sound cliche, but it's very true. Because if you give up, then what else you got? So, honestly, that's one thing that kept me going because I never gave up. It's okay to take breaks in life because things happen. Life happens, right? But just make sure you pick yourself back up and just continue on what you're doing. That's all that matters. So, don't give up is 1. Connections, of course, is a big thing in media. Having connections with people in radio are a big thing. Is where I got my internship with you guys. Just interacting with everybody in music. So connect, and it's like no excuse. We have social media now. You know, it ain't like we're in the 90s. So we got Instagram, we got Snapchat, Twitter. So there's like no excuse for you not to connect with anybody. It's like right here in your palm of your hand. So,
Absolutely.
You know. So connections, and then what would be the third one? The third one would be just staying focused. I would say stay focused on your goal, on your dreams. If you have a dream, like make it do it. Don't just sit there, because if you just sit there and let people do it for you, or say that you're gonna do it, no, it's about action. So the actions speak louder than words. So actually do it and be persistent about it too, not just consistently. Just be persistent about your goals, and it'll get you far. So,
have you ever thought about giving up? Like, what was the time that got so tough for you? You're just like almost seriously considering it.
Honestly, no. I've never thought about giving up. Like, I know it's hard, but that's like I go back to the ambitious thing, because I'm just an ambitious person. And I'm not a negative. Like, I'm a positive person. I try to be positive, and so I've never thought oh, I'm gonna give up on this radio. No, because I know it's for me. Like, your passion. There's no such thing as giving up. So it's all about what you're truly passionate about to determine that. So no, I never thought about giving up.
Okay. What is a strong piece of advice that you live by?
A strong piece of advice that I live by, it comes from my dad. He always said, "Don't let nobody steal your joy," because I feel like a lot of people bring people down because they're hurt or something like that. So, he always told me yo, don't let nobody steal your joy. Like, who cares? Just do you. If you're happy, if you're doing good, don't let nobody distract you from that. And that's one piece of advice that's so true. Even in social media, not social media, but in being in the radio industry and just anything, in personal life, don't let anyone steal what you have going on. So your joy, happiness, you shouldn't let other people bring you down. So that's a really strong piece of advice that I have. So yeah.
Okay. What's next for you?
Well, I'm trying to get some Blazers on my show. So if anybody out there listening, athletes, because I'm a big sports person. So really just more connection with radio. I want to connect with as many people as I can in radio. Women in radio is phenomenal. Let me put that out there. So I love connecting with women specifically in radio, because it's a dope movement that we have going on. So just connecting with people, of course, landing a position on an actual bigger platform radio station other than college platform. Definitely trying to connect in that way. And yeah, just keep my podcast. So I've been having a break from my podcast because with my senior year in school, it was getting tough. It was family situations going on, personal life things going on. So I had to take a break from doing my podcast for a while. And so I can focus, to graduate. So now I'm back on the roll with my podcast, and I feel great about it. And so I have a lot of good artists that I've met. I'm excited to have on my show. So I'm just looking for Portland talent. If you're listening out there, let me know. I'm always looking for talent, like I mentioned earlier. That's what my show is all about. So really just connecting with people, local people here in Portland that really want to showcase their talent and represent hip-hop culture, all that. So
Good for you. Is there anything else you would like to share with the world?
Like I said, mentioned, I feel like KPSU doesn't get a lot of listeners, so I feel like it's really important for me to, broadcast that more. That's my goal, is to really get a bigger audience to listen into my show. Cause it's we're streaming live. We're not actually on the radio. We're on a website. We're streaming live 24/7 on kpsu.org. So I would love to bring more audience to listen in and to really see what we're about, because KPSU is dope. Like, it's a freedom radio. You can talk whatever you want. They give that's what I love about PSU. They give us the opportunity to have our own platform and to play our own music, speak whatever we like. So I really my goal is to get a bigger audience every year, to tune in. Because I've had some dope artists. I've had one of my biggest, best interviews I've had was having J. Cole's artist on my show, Luke. He's from Dreamville.
That's right. You were telling me about that. That's so dope.
And J. Cole, anybody that knows me knows I sweat J. Cole, but I love him to the core more than anything. And so to have his artist on my show was
Which
surreal.
artist was this again?
Luke.
Oh, Elute?
Yeah.
E-L-U-T-E?
L-U-T-E. He's one of his newest artists on the Dreamville.
Okay.
Yeah, he got a lot of dope artists on Dreamville. All his artists are dope. I see why he signed him. He's humble. He's just down-to-earth guy. He is very dope. So, yeah, check him out. And, yeah, that's, one of my highlights of last year was having him. That was so
That
crazy
is
to
so
me.
dope. That is really
I would have
cool.
never thought that. My favorite artist, I'm actually, interviewing his artist. That's so crazy. So I was like, if I can have him on my show, man, that's all these possibilities I can do then. Shoot. So, but yeah, it was amazing to have him. And so, yeah, that's just really what I'm trying to work on is expanding, expose my show more, inviting more local artists in, having even you on.
I would love to.
That would be amazing. Because you won Miss
Black Oregon.
There you
2015.
go. Look at that.
Yes.
So I never had a winner on my show like that. So I would love to have just anything like that, just really uplifting and for Portland, like I said, to really be noticed about that, because it's important for us to notice those achievements here. So definitely.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on to the show
Thank
today.
you for having me, girl.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Anytime. You're always welcome back. Thank you.
Thanks. Hey.
Awesome. And that's a good piece of content.
In the studio with Sarah G. And that's a wrap. Like I said, for those who are listening, tune into my podcast. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention my new show times. It's now Thursdays from 1 to 4. So
You got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4
yeah, 3-hour show. I know I'm used to doing hour shows, but now I got a longer time slot. So, yes, guys, Thursdays from 1 to 4 on kpsu.org. Not this Thursday because I got to work, but starting next week, every Thursday. So, I finally got time to do my show. So, I'm excited to launch it. And, like I said, it's been a minute. So, make sure you guys tune in. Follow me on Instagram at Coolin' It with Kira. So, and Facebook. And Sarah G's back there.
Hey,
I want to give a special shout out to her because she's dope, killing it on here on We. So shout out to her. All right, y'all. Peace.